So you reviewed a game that several people have been talking about within our Discord that
Yes.
like
My boy
a
Johnny, he's been playing it alongside with me. Uh,
Pipistrello and the Cursed Yoyo.
Unfortunately it is Pipistrello. It is Pipi.
Pipistrello.
Yeah, Pipistrello. Italian for bat, because I guess this character is a bat. This was a game we were super excited for a couple years ago at PAX. We all got our grubby mitts on this thing when we were there, and we loved it. Back then, we all it's one of the unanimous agreements that it deserved one of the awards, the Team Choice Awards. This is I'm gonna say this is Game Boy Advance like. It is definitely aesthetically and gameplay wise, it feels very much like a late era GBA game. It's sort of a combo of like a Zelda and not just because of the yo-yo, but just sort of like thematically. It's got some Star Tropics soul in it. I love me some Star Tropics. But yeah, this is a top-down 2D action puzzle.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know I don't know what you would call it, because it's not even like it's a Metroidvania. Like, you kind of want to put it in that hole, but it doesn't really feel like that. There's not a massive ton of backtracking. It's sort of all like everything's just sort of like forward momentum to get a key, and then you go back to like a main hall and unlock it like that. The first major boss areas like that. You're a little smartass bat that goes back to visit his family, his grandma, who is a big deal in this town. Everyone knows them. Not everyone's happy to know them for various reasons, including the main villains of the game. Through some circumstances, some bad juju happens, and grandma ends up getting possessed into your yo-yo that you use.
A very normal thing.
And the bulk of your combat is yo-yo based. You use it you can cross water with it, like by using like walk the dog things, and you can do multi-hits, and it's got this cool angle thing you can see, and like that's the first boss fight major. Well, I guess it's not first. It's pretty open map. That's just the first place I went to, so to me that's the first boss fight. If you see something that it has like a sharp angle to it, you can whip your yo-yo or throw your yo-yo off leash, and it'll follow the angle trajectory, that 90-degree angles. So
I love that. Just classic bouncy.
Yeah, you can get some very interesting attacks and multi-hits just kind of based on like how you use your yo-yo in these situations. So that's neat. It's really satisfying combat. It's got a killer soundtrack. It's got a really interesting power-up system that I don't think anyone's ever done this before, and it's kind of neat. You kind of got your underground bunkers that are kind of hidden throughout they all link to like one spot, but you find these red trap doors and you go in there, and that's where you find some of your grandma's associates and stuff. And one of them sells you sort of your upgrades, your buffs, the things that will like increase your attack power, increase this, that, and the other. And so you get those, and they just give it to you. But there's two caveats to it. One, it has a negative impact on you. So if you want this upgrade, it's going to have a negative impact, which usually means something like, you have one less heart, which early game hurts a lot because that means you've only got like 2 hearts now. And on top of that, you have to pay them back. But the money you have on hand at the moment doesn't matter because they're a germaphobe, so they don't want to touch the money you've already touched. So what they do is they take half of the money you find throughout there until you pay it off. And then once you pay it off, you go back to them, they remove the buff, and it unlocks whatever, some more of your upgrades that you can get and stuff. It's a really clever system. I really like it. It really is risk reward that you kind of have to do. Because you'll find yourself woefully underpowered sometimes. Like I need this guy's. It's taking too much to, take some of these rooms of people out and stuff. And it's also a very parry centric game. There's a lot of like press the Y button to do a parry of a bullet back
At the
to
right
the boss
time,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. It's the new hotness in video games is a parry mode, but. The story is also really, really good, and like there's a lot of payoff by the time you get to the end of it. You kind of don't expect it because it is kind of really goofy.
You'd think
in a lot of ways.
So cute. Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of sass. Your character's pretty sassy at times and stuff, but by the time you get to the end of it, and you're kind of like the story is evolved a little bit more and stuff. Like it's got a good payoff. It's definitely worth seeing through the end, and it's always throwing something new at you. There's always a new sort of like way to that a boss is going to come at you or an enemy is going to come at you, and you have to think about it. The puzzles are all really clever, and some of them aren't necessary. Some of them are just to find things that are hidden and stuff.
Would you say that everything that they throw at you comes back?
Yeah. Way to go.
You're welcome.
But yeah, no, this is short list of my favorite games of the year so far. 100%. I have a strong feeling about this one. For me, it just hit all the right notes for me. Exactly, a game made specifically for my tastes, which I love, and it does. I always say this when it comes to games like this. It's definitely trying to be a Game Boy Advance game, but it's not limiting itself to the Game Boy Advance. It's not trying to be like it could be on Game Boy Advance hardware. It's just how Game Boy Advance feels. So,
yeah. That's more than the feeling, I guess, in a stupid way. But yeah, that's one thing that struck me when we first played it a couple years ago, or however long ago it was. It's that it's not quite Game Boy Advance, but it's what you feel.
Yeah.
That plays like, and it worked. Yeah. It worked well back then. So.
And it still has the really fun filters on it, where
nice.
You could. It has two different filters because when they showed us, it was like a GBA filter, but they also have like a GBA SP style filter too, like
the Game Boy Micro.
Yeah. So, but
a little corner,
just a little tiny corner.
Yeah, and like with scratches on the screen, it's so good. It's a great filter. It's actually one of the few like overlay filters I've ever used that I thought was like well done. So good on them for that. Yeah.